So like many of y'all, we got a chance to see the Kevin Samuels, I guess say podcast or show or whatever the case may be, and thoroughly impressed. I'm impressed. Tasha K is a phenomenal interviewer. I believe Tasha K did not hold anything back. I think she was taking jabs here and there, but I think overall, Kevin Samuels was a good sport by even coming on there, not running away from the nonsense, but coming to that the message was going to get pushed out and populated, and able to sit down from two different spectrums, from two different things about men and women not being able to sit in the same space and have conversation that matters. And I think that conversation mattered. This is why I decided to do this video, whatever case be. Disappointed. I'm disappointed in the people that still have this narrative that they want to push about Kevin. It's always the person that can't afford the Lamborghini, never been in the Lamborghini, don't got the credit score a Lamborghini, don't know nobody that drive a Lamborghini, that's talking about the person with the Lamborghini, that's trying to prove that they got it like that, but you have no signs validating that you could be in the Lamborghini. So since you can't prove that since you can't prove that you can purchase a Lamborghini, you gotta prove that driving the Lamborghini ain't shit. I know y'all following me. I know you following me. Since you don't have the status of Kevin Samuels, since you don't have the platform he had, Kevin Samuels, since you don't feel like you're right, you don't wear the cologne he wears, the watches he wears, you ain't as tall as Kevin Samuels to make yourself more relevant. That's what I've noticed. Like everybody has this same 1-2 punch that don't like this guy. Let me talk about how he talks to women. Now it's just this big plight about, oh well, I'm doing, you got men that standing in that gap saying, oh well, he's downgrading black women. First of all, let me tell you something. Is a YouTube. You can log off, you can not watch, you can unsubscribe, you can block, things you can do to control Kevin Samuels' message. But for some reason, people listen. People want to hear the truth. They want to hear the truth. No matter how much they say they love gossip and drama, no matter how much they subscribe to, let me see joke, they share, they like, they send monetary value, at some point in time, 1 second of the day, they want to say, I want to hear some grown-up stuff. And I noticed that a lot of men, they're address the men right now. And again, this is not a smack around. This is just, we got to do better. If you sat there and you listened to that interview, to me, there was nothing about that interview. I get it. Energy, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not very, like, I gotta prove that I'm hard and beat on my chest. I gotta wear gold teeth. I gotta have a do-rag. I gotta put a breeze sneakers that came out. I get it. And if you don't, you ain't man enough. You ain't black enough. And that's the problem that we have, especially with men in today's society. We follow so many fads and trends about how we supposed to be as men, which is the reason why it is so easy for women black women, white women, women that just look at you like, you ain't really got it like that. You ain't really got it like that. Now, unless you're a celebrity and you really actually have been, and it's like, okay, I'm still flock to Lil Wayne, but I'm just noticing that a lot of the guys that have such an issue with Kevin Samuels, they're not refined, have good credit, right? They're not doing the things that they're supposed to do. And it's like when you start pointing a finger and saying, oh, this guy is gay, or this guy, and it makes you want to ask, what are you? What are you? The other day I was on his show, and I said, at what point in time do men and women sit down and have a conversation, feeling a need to throw shot or shade at the conversation? Just sit down and listen. Give it a fair listen, a fair shake. Actually put station and say, you know what? I'm not here to call you names. I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm just here to have a conversation. And I believe that was just, hey, we're here to have a conversation. Let's set the tone. Let's set the narrative right off the bat. I respect what you, cool, great. Let's have a real, and I just noticed that, there's a lot of people just throwing like this heavy amounts of shade. Shade because they don't like Tasha K. Shade because they don't like Kevin Samuels. Shade because they don't want anybody having a positive conversation. Because they can't do it. To have a positive conversation. They're only to drag people and to bring people down. And this is what I'm saying, man. I just noticed that nothing positive being said. Like, there's no, you got a point there. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Everything's bad. Everything, I was sitting and I was listening to this one YouTuber or whatever. He made sure that he said everything that he would have talked about Kevin Samuels being a cheerleader, talked about Kevin Samuels' mannerisms, talked about where he came from in regards to the manosphere, taught his sexuality. I mean, it was just everything he could possibly say. Now, at one time did he say, come on, about this particular thing. And I can't trust people or respect people that don't give people certain amounts of credit. I gotta give people certain amounts of credit. Because if you're putting in the work, if I sit here and I have an hour-long conversation, it is a possibility that may be credible. 5 minutes of what I'm saying may be truthful. 5 minutes of what I'm saying across the world that hears this message. I'm saying stop being jealous, bro. It is not a good look. And I understand that a lot of people real issue with Kevin Samuels. They're just doing it for ratings. They're just doing it for views. I get it, to get new subs. I get it. But it's a bad look. It's a bad look that media that predicates you have such an issue with a man because he wears suits and you don't, because he got credit and you don't, because he has status and you don't. The thought process is if I have an issue with Kevin Samuels' particular talking point, if you're saying the talk, if Stanley, again, that has, you understand what I'm saying? Like, because have mannerisms, just natural mannerisms. Like say if I sit like this, right? Say if I say, well, that's not how men sit. You know what I'm saying? Men don't sit like that. Okay, cool. But is my message, does my is what I'm saying, and I think the issue is that a lot of men, it's just a lot of hate. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just a lot of hate, and it's like I'm trying to debate if it's, or is it just for views? Is it just for likes? Is it just for subs? If you don't like Kevin Samuels, hey, y'all come over here. You sit down and say, okay, well, obviously you have, because you don't like them. Why you don't like them? You listen to why you don't like them. The things, it only showcase that you're childish. It only showcase that you don't feel that the people that respect Kevin Samuels will respect you. Say it, bro. I'm just saying. You don't feel like that. You don't feel like your message would be important mainstream in the little sector that you hide in. You gotta hide behind whatever little wall that you hide in. Don't show their face. You gotta hide and throw all of these shots from behind your wall, from inside your sector. Kevin Samuels is this. Kevin Samuels is that, but never Samuels has a point from time to time, or he has a point, period. I listened to the Tasha, and I felt like when you have a man saying that black men and black women need to work together, black men and black women need to humble them. I don't understand. I don't get that point of view. I don't understand why somebody would say, oh, but he gay. Oh, but he was a cheerleader. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. It's like, what do you want? Because anything you feel Kevin Samuels is not doing, you should do. But when you go in, what you do is you spew hatred. You spew division. You spew negativity and drama and gossip. And you do it all in a like you, but it's no realism there. When I talk to you and you're so passionate, Kevin Samuels is gay. And this is like, bro, like, no gay people? Because you agree with someone's comment, hey. So you're so homophobic that it's just like, well, he's just gay in the suit. Bro, why you keep pointing out that man's suit? If he has the money, this is crazy to me. I'm telling, it's this whole Lamborghini analogy for me. I'm telling you, I can't afford to hate on it. No one wants to put me in their Lamborghini, so I'm going to hate on all the people that can ride in the Lamborghini. All the people that can afford the Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? Look at what type of glasses he have on. Look what type of watch he has. You have to detail and point out every single thing to say, well, a real man, ain't got to wear no suit. Well, I'm just trying to figure out what is that. What can somebody explain it to me? What is it really? Like, first we was like, we want men, right? We want men, you and I want men to take care of their kids, be loyal, be providers, be protectors, be right, be able to look you in your eye when they're having a conversation, shake your hand, stand up right. So then when the man does it, we need to now knock what he's doing. Well, you're not no real man. You was a cheerleader in high. Don't no real man. Don't no real black man. Bro, let me tell you something. Only jackass say some stuff like that. Only people that are not life, you're probably going to have a different perspective and narrative on what a real man is. If you was in the suburbs all your life, you have a different perspective and narrative of what a real man is. If you worked at a pop store, there's going to be different levels of and conversation goes. You see what I'm saying? So look, this is not a real man. This is a real man right here. This is real. I'm a real man. I'm a real man. Like, come on, bro. Like, you got to figure out, understand that everyone has a different perspective, but the narrative should always be the same. Is the message truthful? Is the message honest? Is the message of some type of realism? And I truly believe that, again, I don't believe that nobody hit it all the time. But if you're saying out of all of Kevin Samuels' conversation, find something good out of it, I'm going to be honest with you. There's something, I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen some men go to the point where Kevin Samuels has taken their talking points. Bruh, oh my God. I am surprised that people, that social media works a certain type of way. If something you say is worth repeating, it's going to be repeated. Now, if I take what you say, and instead of, and it's full of curse words, I say it and it's full of hate, I say it and it's full of disrespect, and I say, you know what? Instead of taking all those other attributes that you added, I'm just going to take the meat and potatoes. If the meat and potatoes is, I want to help women, but how I'm going to say it, I got to joke on them first. I got to disrespect them first. So if I leave the dragging out, if I leave the hate out, if I leave the disrespect out, and I want to help women, and that message goes mainstream, you can't be mad. You can't say, oh, he took my message. Well, you should have refined your message. You should have refined your message. And here's the thing. If I feel like I'm at a level that I've refined myself where I can take my message into an office and say my videos, and there's white women, black women, Hispanic, Chinese women, you know what I'm saying? There are all types of people in different sitting in an office, and they say, well, here is Mario J, and Mario J wants to become a famous speaker, and here's his message. You got to ask yourself, can your message in front of with numerous background and from numerous races, will people get behind it? The problem is that people are not refined. There is no level up. There is no common sense factor. Stuck on, I'm doing this for views, I'm saying this for subscribers. They didn't realize that their message was one-dimensional. They didn't realize what earth. Let me break this down. Boy, I'm about to piss some people off who understand their value and have respect, not only for themselves and how they carry themselves and how they look on social media, but for their families. Because they realize what they say is important. Carry themselves a different type of way. I don't need to be cussing and going off all the time. I don't need to be disrespecting people. All views and subscribers that bad. Bro, damn. You know what I'm saying? Damn. The message that you say in Washington, D.C. is saying it in Minnesota. The message that you say in Minnesota, someone is saying it in California. The message that you say in California, somebody is saying it in North Carolina. North Carolina, somebody is saying it in New York. Stop thinking that you that has a message like yours. You just haven't heard it yet. Platforms that have common sense. Our grandparents. Huh? Our grandparents. Social media advice. Our grandparents. On sex. On how to raise your kids and be a parent. On how to get over arguments. On what to bring to the job and today's work. How to carry yourself. This was happening before social media even blossomed like that. We had people in place already. So for you to be thinking I'm the only one with this type of message is naive as hell. It's naive. But I understand the inner workings of social media and how people feel like, okay, well, if I just talk about him, it'll build me up. Some people will say, oh, you clout chasing. Okay. All right. My thought process is this, man. If you're going to clout chase to bring people together, to promote a positive message, and you got to say, well, Kevin, and then when people sit down and listen to your message, what does it do? What does it do? How does it resonate with people? Me sitting down trying to look at a Kevin Samuels video and say, well, the light that he uses, that's a gay light, right? The tie that he wears, that's a gay tie. The glasses that he wears, those are gay glasses. You know, the talking points. He stole talking points from me. YouTubers say he stole. Bro, if you talk long enough, probably saying someone else, or you feel like you've said it at some point in time. Advocate for. A lot of people advocate, let me call you a bunch of names, let me disrespect you, let me drag you. They advocate for that. So when you take someone, I'm going to take away all of the nonsense and I'm going to actually give you the message. That's the problem. That's the problem. How you decorate your cake is cool, but I'm gonna take off your decorations and just say, here is the product. Here's a plain raw product. I was telling the gentleman that, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of men figures. And ironically, it's a lot of people who are saying that Kevin become the OG or the father of the manosphere or the father of social black men. And I'm like, let me ask you a question. Would Kevin Samuels being the father of whatever, would it be bad? Because I can think of some worse representation. Just saying, I can think of some worse representation. Man, we got to stop hatred. We got to, man. You know what I'm saying? You hear somebody with a message that doesn't talk about how we should hate black women, how we should hate black men, you know, how we should hate America, how we should, like it. When you hear someone not saying it's all about hating your block, that has to be a win. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just hoping that someday we can change the narrative. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with this guy, you know, and I went on his platform because I really wanted to talk to him about Kevin Samuels, because I know that he says kitten heels. And I really wanted to find out what was his concern. I probably on one hand I can count how many videos I've seen in regards to Kevin Samuels, because I don't watch people, because I don't feel like where I am with my life, I know me enough that I don't need guidance. Like, there are some people that watch him for relationship advice. Some people that watch him for, I guess, to hear what he has to say or whatever. And it's cool. From time to time, hey, I'll listen, I'll tune in. Hey, salute. Perspective. And he told me his perspective. But the comments, his comment section after the thing over, like to really like break it down and see. And I was disappointed. You had people saying, just because we do, we gonna drag you. And I was just like, and I'm reading the comments. Are you any better than manosphere? How are you any better than the womansphere? Like you're saying just because I agree with what Kevin Samuel says, who he is as a person, then automatically what you're saying doesn't matter. It's null and void. Some people have built the platform on that very thing. They built it on disagreeing, combating other people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all over there, we over here. But you know, when you are that, you can't see that. First of all, anybody that knows me, you know, knows that I'm an advocate for empowerment, for being optimistic. I'm an advocate for men and women working together. So the fact of the matter is that if you're so blind in hatred, if you're so blind in disrespect, that your platform is not a balanced platform. When you have a bunch of people promoting hatred, I never want to be around a bunch of people that's always talking about, I'm about to drag. They ain't got it like that. They those Lamborghini haters. You know what I'm saying? Now, if all of the people, look, if I pull, and they pull up in their vehicle, and their vehicle ain't equal or better than mine, you ain't dragging me nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't dragging me nowhere. If I stand in front of my home, and then across the street, y'all got all y'all homes in mine, right? If your home don't got more rooms than mine, if your home ain't got a bigger backyard, then you ain't dragging me nowhere. If we pop open and we go check our credit scores, all three credit scores pop up. If mine say 765, 700, and yours is saying 425, 463, 521, where you dragging me to? It's the people that do the most hating that don't have what it is. Am I talking to somebody? Am I talking to somebody? The people that have is don't have it like that. Well, I don't like you if you like Kevin Samuels. Okay. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I have an infinity for you. You know, if you're saying something that makes sense, my thing about it is people don't like you tell them the truth. They don't like when you say that you ain't the shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't the shit all the time. But here's how you could be better. You know, everything that you say don't hit like that. You know, you ain't real like that. A lot of people feel like use the more, you know, more manly than the other person, or they act like they got it like that, or they act like they living their best life. And I'll be like, bro, y'all sound sad. And God forbid if they showing their face. You ever look at somebody's background and be like, you ain't got it like that. You ain't got it like that. I can clearly see you overweight. I can clearly see you malnourished. Your hygiene ain't on fleek. I can clearly see how you speak. You can't take this conversation into anywhere that people value themselves. You off. They're gonna turn you off. They're gonna say, what? Who is this? A lot of people that they only can talk a certain type of way. They think everybody talks like that. They think I'm about to read you. Ain't about to do nothing but sit on your page and say a bunch of stuff that you think is just supporting. Like, oh my God, they dragging them. It's like, bro, I can clearly see you ain't got it like that. I'm not in a successful nothing. A successful household, a successful relationship, a successful career. You have successful self-esteem. Clearly see you lack these things. So when someone presents themselves in a manner, they showcase that they have a certain level of respect for themselves. They can have a conversation. You know, they can sit up in a chair and speak without saying, what ratchetest thing I could say. I gotta respect that. I gotta respect a man that can sit with a woman and instead of saying, providing solutions. And a lot of these men don't provide solutions. A lot of these women, they don't provide solutions. They don't bring people together. And they swear to God that they living their best life. You know what? That's so funny because I looked at someone who's saying, basically just calling Kevin Samuels all types of names or whatever case may be. Sometimes I don't even say anything. I just kind of read the comments just to see how real it is. And I read one of the comments just kind of resonated with me when they were saying that while he's been divorced and doesn't have a current girlfriend. Well, here's the thing. This is what's so funny, right? The woman that I love online doesn't mean I don't have a woman. Because I don't, or whoever I'm dating someone. So here's what's funny about it. They want that you just need to provide it when they say so. Life needs to be coupled in with what you're saying online. And for some, they're not like that. Some people they'll go live and they'll with their little kids running in the background saying, Mommy, we hungry. Dad, we hungry. Hey, Mom, you still gonna take us to get ice cream? Dragging someone, doxing someone, talking about somebody else's household. You don't see me doing that? I guess my issue is that I feel like they don't respect themselves. Trying to build upon people who have any value to actually go home to. When you talk to someone that has value, you talk to someone that has a level of restraint, they have emotional control, they don't carry themselves crazy. They don't sit down and root for people to get drugged down. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to be the bearer of bad news. They just don't. They don't. And here's the thing, unless where you got hundreds and thousands of people following you and subscribe to you, you know, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it's at, a million people, you know what I'm saying, checking for you. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you got 1,000 subs, 5,000 subs, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be as ratchet as I can. I'm gonna talk about this woman. I'm gonna talk about these kids. I'm gonna be super disrespectful. I'm gonna be super ratchet. I'm gonna smoke all the weed. I'm gonna drink all the liquor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how ratchet and loud and disrespectful I can be. And your channel is not growing. Whatever you're doing it's just not growing. Yeah, you're making a couple dollars every month from YouTube or AdSense or whatever. But it's just like, man, at the end of the day, exhausted. The whole day online trying to be the best. At what? You can't take it nowhere. You can't take your message mainstream. And that's the problem. You can't take your message nowhere. There are big YouTubers that can't take their message nowhere but YouTube. When I say that, right? Because let's just say YouTube was this. They can't take their message but to here. Right? Maybe 5% of YouTube. Out of 100 though? Out of 100? Act fool. Respect people. Degrade yourself. People overtalk people. People are too to watch a man, to watch a woman that's not building anything, that's not supporting anything. So whether you're someone's husband, somebody's wife, somebody's daughter, somebody's lover, somebody's friend, somebody's family member, it's like, bro, are they proud of that? For that? I really don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Right? Reasons ain't good reasons. People trying to be stars, trying to be important. And what happens is, if you're gonna do something drastic, girl, or whatever case may be, right? Remember her? When you do something drastic, almost like you got to continue to do drastic stuff so that way and I feel sorry for those people that can have to continue that facade and keep that energy up, because you know what I mean. And this is why a lot of, I'm gonna say black people, this is why a lot of black people they fool themselves, because we do stuff, right? We do stuff, ask simple questions. It's silence. Sent me a video and I was checking it out. Two women, one was a worker in a Waffle House and walked in a Waffle House, of course, late night type thing. And of course there was a gentleman, I wouldn't even call him a gentleman, but there was a guy recording the whole thing, whatever, the people, if he was in the thing, on and giving commentary or whatever, like a knucklehead. But the girl was screaming the cut. As she was talking to her, she started throwing stuff, like, whatever she had in front of her, she just was throwing stuff at the cook. And of course, loud, you know what I'm saying, doing all types of stuff. Right. So as she's throwing and looking at the situation, nobody's breaking it up, nobody's saying, hey, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody's trying to stop it. So of course the cook is, the manager, she came around trying to, stop the girl or whatever. But they did this and was standing around whatever ward she said she was from. So I guess the police just happened to be patrolling. So the police, because of course, Waffle House has, I guess they saw the commotion and, they stopped. Police comes in. Crazy. Police comes in, what happened or whatever. So when they talk to the girl that was doing all the throwing or whatever case may be, right, says, well, she wouldn't, and my bacon was burnt. Let it breathe. Shake her at her, butter knives and forks. Knocked everything off the counter. And that makes sense. And sadly, a lot of people in the black community, they believe that type of behavior means you real, a boss. That means you run shit. Bruh, that's crazy. That's crazy. People act online every day. And there's people that rally for them. There's people that applaud for them. There's people that say, yeah, that's how you do it right there. For all the people that say they have an issue with people trying to bring people, despite what color they are, despite where they're from or whatever, for all the people that say, well, we just don't like it. It's your right not to like it. It's your opinion to have not to like it. And no one can take that away from you. I would say that, honestly, my more quieter. Because the louder you speak, the more you expose yourself. The more jealousy you expose, the more hatred you expose. Somebody took my talking points. I don't want to hear about somebody being gay. Somebody used to be a cheerleader. Because all of that really means nothing when it comes to the message. Because here's the thing. I can say something some way, right? And another person can take hear what I'm saying and go and say it way better. More people can make that. A lot more people will say it. Should I get mad because they said it better? Well, y'all, I just want to say I said that first. So what? So what? They took it from me. Words, they took the English language from you. You sat down and you've copyrighted a saying. I'm flat. Unless I go copyright that, guess what? It's free reign. It's free reign unless you copyright my sayings. If you were too lazy, period. You were too lazy. Sorry thing for years, and you're noticing that your subscriber count is dropping. You know what? This ain't really for me. I can't listen to your content in front of my husband. I can't listen in front of my kids. Sharing your content on my social media page, because that would tie into my business, and I don't want affiliated with you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you need to be. Is your message worth it? Message worth people losing customers there that's full of hatred? There's a lot of message out there that's full of gossip and drama, and you got to think about it. Somebody might say, I'm living my best life, I'm successful, I'm doing the things that I need to do. Can I add your message to the mix? Or will it throw people off? Like, well, how can you be successful listening to that? Or all black women are bad, or all black men are bad. I don't want you around me. I'm good. This is a positive way to spend your time and listen on you. I'm straight. Can you imagine hopping in a car with someone and like, just say you on a first date? What do you mean you don't like black women? But I'm black. What can you imagine? Like you Look, you forgot it was even playing in a car. You on your first day, right? They sit in, you cut the radio on or whatever case may be, or you turn on the car, your phone normally automatically hooks to your car, it comes, and you driving, y'all Google Island, you know what I'm saying, you feeling good, you on your way to the beach, or you on your way to the mall, yeah, and F all these black women. F all these black men. F all the white people. Can your message be taken mainstream? Do people who have common sense, do people who value themselves, their friendships, who value their family members, people, do they value your message? Are hundreds of people tuning in, millions of people tuning in to listen to how together or tearing people apart? Some people are holding on by a thin thread. A thin thread. I'm telling you, a lot of that negativity, believe it or not, I'm telling you, a lot of things are about to get phased out. This whole Kevin Samuels phenomenon came out of nowhere, or he used to sell perfume, and he used to this, he used to that. My whole thing, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I could have been a week, all right, but I could be a millionaire today. I could have been an alcoholic, a drug dealer last week, right? But I'll be a millionaire today. You sitting around trying to remind everyone how I used to be only showcases that you haven't leveled up yet. Because you're not saying we're millionaires. We both drive Lamborghinis. You're not saying that. You're saying, look at what they got, that, but I can't talk like that. Look at how they carry themselves, but I can't carry myself like that. To tell everybody else about them. Jealousy. The narrative that you promote shows hatred. The narrative that you promote shows laziness. I can't do what they do. I don't have my message mainstream. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to communicate. I don't know how to bring people together. I only know how to act a fool and tell. And because that's what you know how to do, that's what you've been doing. It doesn't take long to sit down and listen to someone and to get a feeling of where they're coming from. Some people, but when you have a conversation, it's just like, man, let's put the gloves down, let's put the knife to make sure. Let's sit this over here. Let's coffee cool. Let's get some coffee. Yeah, I've been fighting for so long that you feel like everything's a fight. Everybody is against you. Anybody that has destroyed it, you got to start things to slander their name. You got to start doing things to talk about their sexuality. Oh, I got to look at your high school photos. Bruh, how many of y'all was popular in high school? How many of y'all were the same weight in high school? If you tell me you were the same way in high school, I can tell you, you have not reinvented yourself. Your thought process should be on a way bigger wavelength. Your maturity level should be on a way bigger wavelength. That's why it's crazy when someone says, oh, he think he all that because he wears a suit. Oh my God. Really? I mean, you have people be like, I used to start wearing suits, bruh. If you want to wear t-shirts all day, salute to you. You know, I mean, it's just like you're comparing yourself, and it's so, especially for men. Maybe that's good that you had to check off. You know what I'm saying? Well, I now compare myself to Kevin Samuels because he made my value is. So now I need to check myself. Thing. As long as you keep on saying, well, he thinks he all that in suits, fellas, let me go for. Well, I mean, beta, alpha, the beta, whatever you want to say, right? Because some of y'all ain't alphas. But here's the thing. Rule number 1, never get around women and tell women how much you dislike a man. Never point out things about another man. That woman that's with you, they're secretly now, subconscious as well, saying, well, I like the way he carries himself. I like the way he speaks. Wear t-shirts. Real men ain't got to wear no suits. Looking at that man like, well, maybe you should start wearing suits. Maybe you should carry yourself. Why are you always talking about other men? It's not attractive, fellas. It's not alpha male. I don't care who you are, how much money you think you got, how many subscribers you got. It is not cool. I'm telling you right now. A grown man sitting around talking about, oh, he used to be a cheerleader. Oh, he took my talking points. Oh, this, oh, that. Women of value, women of worth, they are looking at you and saying, that's not what men do. That's not what men do. Take it for what it's worth.